Welcome to Girls Who Read Porn. Please be advised that this podcast contains mature content for mature audiences. The title might have given that away though. We would also advise you triple check the trigger warnings of each book prior to the episode, and if it's not for you, we'll see you next week. Each episode includes major spoilers, so make sure you read the book, and don't say we didn't warn you. With all that in mind, on with the show.
Hi everybody and welcome back to another episode of Girls Who Read Porn. It's me, G, and as usual I am joined by Betty.
Hello.
And Ola.
Howdy doody.
How are we doing today?
I'm really fucking happy right now. I just sold my car. My car can get fucked. I'm stoked. And it's great. Canada Day, so I'm going to go to my Canada celebrations after this at Greenwood Hotel in Sydney. If anyone's going to be there, you know that's last year, the first time I got recognised for the podcast was on Canada Day.
Really?
Yes. I just
Was it that night?
Yes, it was that night. I was sitting outside a pizza shop on the ground eating pizza, and this guy was like, "Hey, you're that chick from that porn podcast." And I was like, yeah. I was
Nice.
off my head. I didn't know what year it was. I'm going to eat so
Dude,
much
honestly,
poutine.
I think I would love to be recognised in that capacity, because then it would take all the pressure off. It wouldn't be like, you do that podcast. It would be like, you've done the porn. And you'd be like, yeah.
I was so excited. I was like, yeah, I'm the chick from porn. And my friend
man.
Brent was like, you do porn? It was just, I'm like, no, the podcast, you're meant to be my friend, you're meant to listen to it. And he's like, I don't fucking listen to that shit. Like, he listens to sports podcasts. I was like, I'll do a sports podcast with you, and it can be like you teaching me about sport and me commenting on guys' asses.
We could do a nice little, like, we could do a sports romance for him as a gift.
Yeah.
You know?
For Canada.
I think we are. I think we're doing Pucking Around at some point.
We are doing Pucking Around
Pucking
next. No, wait, the week after next.
The week after next, yeah.
Oh, no,
week.
in like 4 weeks. Listen.
Oh, who fucking knows?
Nobody knows. Okay, we are pre-recording hard right now.
That's just too much going on.
I know, it's a lot.
I don't even know where I am most days, so.
You're in Dunedin.
We do know
it's hard not to know where you are. You're in the biggest fucking
we're
hole
freezing
in the planet.
to death.
It is
We might
very,
not be
very cold at the
next
moment.
week. We might all get hypothermia and die. So
Dramatic much? If there's going to be like less than a mil of snow.
it's not going to be less than a mil of snow. It's going to snow for the next 8 hours.
Bro, I'm from Poland. Okay, we'll talk snow. And we're talking about Canada today. New Zealand ain't got shit on Canada and Poland.
Yeah, but we don't have the... This is what I have the argument every single time, because the UK also shuts down. There's a moment of snow, right?
Right.
It's because countries that snow all the time have the infrastructure for snow. Dunedin shuts down because it does not have the infrastructure for snow whatsoever.
Poland does not have infrastructure for people walking on the street. Bro, please. My grandfather would get so stoked when there was snow, because he'd be like, we can do fireworks now. And he'd like fucking pull out fireworks, put them on his balcony and just let them launch out. And sometimes they'd fail and just go into the snow, and the snow would blow up. Like, it was amazing.
Dunedin has no
my
infrastructure
childhood.
for snow. Like, you are lucky if the roads are gritted.
Yeah, they
Really?
grit like the main roads, but not like
Yeah.
the Dunedin's full of hills as well, and it
Yeah.
gets really icy. So yeah,
I
pretty shit.
just feel like
But yeah, tonight's gonna be really fucking cold.
communist Poland, which is still like essentially communist Poland right now, pretty much the way that people live, is not prepared for any snowfall. Talking about communist Poland, I tried to get Taylor Swift tickets the last 2 days, from on Wednesday and yesterday, didn't get them,
Sorry?
and my mum sent me a text saying, this reminds me of when I lived in communism. And I was like, wow.
What?
Because
I've seen a lot of people
It was
beefing
bad.
online being like, if you're an American and you
Get
bought
fucked.
like an Australian ticket,
Listen,
like,
I actually wanted to bring that up today. If you have, resell it to Australians. You had your turn. It's unfair. I waited 9.5 hours. I didn't get anything. I wanted to take my little sister to enjoy it with her because it's one of her favorite artists. But instead, 50% of tickets were sold to people with USA IPs.
Shit, that's
It's unfair.
mad, man.
It's so unfair.
Dave was
that just
actually
means-
asking me about like Taylor Swift. He was like, "So what? Like, why is Taylor Swift so like popular all of a sudden?" And I was like, "I actually don't know. Like, I just know that she's going on tour, and that's
So
it."
I can tell you why. And the reason is, and this is the reason why I want to go, I'm indifferent about her music. I listen to it like I know the words. It's the show. It is one of the best shows in the world, when you see videos of the stuff that she does. This is, you know how I was saying the Red Hot Chili Peppers did not entertain in Sydney? She entertains. Like, you go for the entertainment. Like Ed Sheeran, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Pink, entertainers. You go for Red Hot Chili Peppers for the music.
Yeah. Well, it's the difference between pop and rock. Rock artists know they're good and they don't try, and that's why I go and see them.
Honestly, I got a bit bored at the Peppers, but sure.
How could you get bored? I was not bored. I enjoyed every second.
I think our set list was shit, and people like really went on about it. It was in the news about how shit the set list was.
That's funny. Betty and I going to the Foo Fighters.
Oh,
yeah,
in January. Yeah,
that's exciting. I have to redo what I just did for the last 3 days for Beyonce.
Oh man, fuck that.
You should stop going to see all these like really good pop artists and then start going seeing like aging rock artists, because their tickets never sell out.
No, I am dying to see Beyonce, but I am seeing Blink-182.
That's cool.
Yeah, that
you should bring a tiny little submersible with you.
A submersible?
Why?
Because of the guy's stepson. He went to a Blink-182 concert.
That's right. I forgot about that.
That took a moment to hit. It did hit home when it hit, but like G and I were just like, I was like, do I understand what submersible means? Like, I was really confused for a second. I'm like, are you using words that I don't know right now?
Oh man. All right. We are talking about Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas today. Yeah. I love the book. I didn't think Betty liked the book, and I think Ola was a little bit about the book.
I learned while reading Birthday Girl, it was a big learning process for me because I'm very rarely like stressed. I'm a pretty happy person. I am very much a mood reader. So I feel like if I was happy and I read it, I would have had a completely different experience because I haven't slept properly in weeks. I've been like freaking out, not enjoying my life, and I just found it almost impossible to read this book. Not because it wasn't good, just because I was like not in the mind frame for it.
Yeah, and I think because it is like kind of like a slow-paced book. Like it's definitely a slow burn. And Penelope Douglas's writing is really good, but it is like quite emotive. Like it can be quite depressing sometimes.
I just felt like a bit of it was a bit repetitive.
Yeah, fair enough.
The 80s shit,
really?
Like...
I feel like we'll into it. Let's do the ratings.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, should we do our ratings? I'm going to give it's a 4 for me. It's
Agreed.
A 4 because I really like it, but I don't think it's even really her best book, but it is, I think, her most popular.
I agree with the 4. There are some things that I would have changed about it, so I can't give it a 5.
I'm going to give it a 3.5 to 4.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like I didn't think it was...
you were going to give it.
No, listen. Not a shit book, just was not in the right frame of mind. And I'm being objective as well. For me personally, whatever. But if somebody loves slow burns, whatever, perfect. I do not.
Yeah. All right, I'll read the fucking blurb. Where is that? Go for it. He took me in when I had nowhere else to go. He doesn't use me, hurt me, or forget about me. He listens to me, protects me, and sees me. I can feel his eyes on me over the breakfast table, and my heart pumps so hard when I hear him pull up in the driveway after work. I have to stop this. It can't happen. My sister once told me there are no good men, and if you find one, he's probably unavailable. Only Pike Lawson isn't the unavailable one. I am. I took her in because I thought I was helping. As the days go by, though, it's becoming anything but easy. I have to stop my mind from drifting to her and stop holding my breath every time I bump into her in the house. I can't touch her, and I shouldn't want to. But we're not free to give in to this. She's 19, and I'm 38, and her boyfriend's father. Unfortunately, they both just moved into my house. Fucking good blurb. That's such a good blurb.
It's a good blurb.
Man.
I honestly don't read blurbs, I've noticed. I go into books completely blind. I had no idea what the fuck was going to happen.
I'm a blurb reader, and I do blurb and I do reviews.
It depends. If I'm looking for something specific, then yes. But whenever you guys tell me to read a book, I go in and I'm like, what are we reading about this week?
Yeah.
And I've been shocked.
If it's a podcast book, I always go in blind.
Yeah, I always try and go in blind.
I tend to do that as well if it is a podcast book. But like for myself, unless it's like an author I really like, then I'll just read whatever.
Yeah. No, I can see that. But yeah, podcast book, go on. I have to read it anyway. What the fuck is the difference if I read the blurb or not?
Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Sometimes it's quite fun to like, you read the book and then you go back and read like the blurb and you're like, does it fit? Does it match?
Although, with the book that we're reviewing next, I started reading blind and then I was like, what the fuck am I reading? And then I had to go back and read the blurb to like figure out what the book was actually going to be about because I was quite confused.
Oh my fucking god.
Anyway.
Just save that for next episode because that is bizarro. I went on a pretty fucking journey. I'm so confused. I didn't know what my name was, where I was. Please talk about Birthday Girl.
All right, should we start off with our favourite parts? Does anybody else want to kick off, or do I start?
Go nuts, Jay.
Go for it.
My favourite part about this book was it 100% solidified and opened up the world of Boyfriend's Dad for me. The best genre. I think it's my favorite.
Oh my god, when I read it, I was like, this is all fucking G. The minute she said yes, Daddy, I was like, fuck, G is having the time of her life reading this shit.
I love age gap. Love
Me too.
Older man, younger woman.
Love it.
And then the whole like Boyfriend's Dad thing. Like, oh my god, so good. Like, this is what, really got me into age gap books. So that's my favorite part about it. And it sort of like set the precedent too.
Okay. That sets the precedent for you for age gap. Don't you feel like you've read better age gaps than this?
I don't think I have. I think because it's such a slow burn and because it actually really does come across as like forbidden. Okay. You know, like other ones, like it'll kind of be like insta love and they just won't care, or it'll be like, you know, they get over the age thing quite quickly. Like that was like really difficult to do in this book.
I want you to read Latte Darling by S.J. Tilley. She's coming onto the podcast.
That's on my list.
Okay.
Enjoy. But I read it and it like I think I read the blurb in some reviews and it said that it was like funny.
It is.
And like I don't want to read.
But it's not like it's not funny like haha. It's just light-hearted compared to like it's not depressing where you want to fucking shoot yourself while you read it.
I love that though. That's my favorite.
Okay, well then don't read Latte Darling.
I want drama. I want angst.
Listen,
I want pain.
This author has another book called Sleep Kitten. Like I know, you fucking love the angst. I was talking to Brittany Nicole about it this morning. I was on FaceTime with her, and I was like, these fucking girls and their angsty books. Like, I just want to be happy right now. I can't, like, my mood is not coping with it.
Oh, man.
My favourite part probably was the slow burn. I am a sucker for slow burn. Love it so much. I think slow burn is the most realistic way that you can portray a smart novel. And that's why I like to read it. I like the tension. I want to be mad at the characters for not fucking each other. I want to get to a point where I'm like, can you just fucking do it? Like, I like.
You want to be like frustrated.
I want to be so frustrated that when it finally happens, I'm like, thank God. I've been waiting my entire life for this, and I feel good.
Nice.
And that was my favorite part.
What about you, Ola? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I feel like it was... What's my favorite part? I think it would have to be like all of their character development. Like that was done pretty well. And her writing is just really good. Yeah, like she just knows how to write.
She's good at what she does.
And in all honesty, my favorite part is that I didn't fucking hate this book this year. Like we've just had such shit fucking books that it was nice to not have a shit book. That's my favorite part.
Just so they have like a normal one. Like when we just like you read it and you're like, oh, nice.
Like I can rely on this to not be a piece of shit book.
Yeah.
I feel very strongly about that.
Yeah, have we not had a good one since Sea of Ruin?
Well, listen, no, apparently. You guys are gonna fucking hate pucking around, and I don't give a fuck because it's like 12 stars for me. It's like 500 stars for me. It's a TikTok book, and I hate every other TikTok book that we've done, but this one, I'm all about it.
Is that the gay one?
It's reverse harem, but yes, there are some.
Is it like the whole team?
The whole book is just smut for 700 pages.
Fine.
Shit, yeah. It's been a while since we had one like that. So
I
wouldn't
wanted to bring one in
honestly.
because I was like, fuck these fucking plot points and these slow burns. Everyone just starts fucking from the get-go. And there is one part of it which is a slow burn, which is really great, but the rest of it, everyone's just fucking all the time.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Please continue.
Least favorite part. I'll start. My least favorite part, I know this is probably going to be, I don't know if it's going to be your guys' least favorite part, was the fucking desk scene where she video calls him and then she just like fucks the corner of the desk.
I have a few least favorite parts, but that's on there.
I couldn't get into it. I understand that she wasn't fucking. Yeah, I understand that she wasn't fucking the edge, that she was fucking like the flat bit of it. But it doesn't make any sense. Like, there are so many other ways to just like get yourself off. Like, why?
And then to call back to it, like to call back to it in a later scene, like was
like it was like really hot.
Yeah,
it wasn't. Anyway, that's my least favorite part.
Do you know what I did not like about that? Was the next day he was just like an angry man. Like he was just behaving like a caveman and being like, fuck everyone, fuck this, fuck that. Instead of just being like an adult. Like that makes me really angry.
You confuse me so much.
I know.
Like it's
mood reading. It's mood reading.
Because
it's mood reading.
You love,
don't question me. I love Gemma Weir.
I'm gonna question you.
Here we go.
No, you love possessive, angry, obsessive men that get like the Gemma Weir aspect of like, if you don't fuck me, I'm gonna be in a bad mood. And that's exactly what happens in this book. And now it's your least favorite part.
I think it was the way that it was done. And I just get like, I feel like I'm okay when they get angry at the chick. I hate it when they get angry at everyone else.
I love it.
He was like angry at like his like co-workers.
Yeah, and then
I love it so
then
much.
He calls and he's like, "Do you know what happened to him?" And I'm like, "Don't be a little bitch." Like, but I'm also highly emotionally driven right now, so don't listen to me. Read this book.
I genuinely love that part because I love the idea of having so much like control over the guy that you're seeing. They get angry when you don't give them what they want.
Sure. I think my least favorite part is actually the fact that they just kept going back to this 80s shit. Like, I get it. Shut up. I don't care. And whatever. Yeah. And like, fine, she loves the 80s and she's a housewife and she's like perfect for you. Her character kind of seemed a little bit flat to me, a tiny bit.
I liked her character. I like that she was a brat. I like that as soon as anything went wrong for her, she just threw a tantrum. Yeah, because that would be me.
Okay, maybe that's why I didn't like it. I'm just kidding.
She came home and like he was on a date with another girl, so she just like fucked up the house.
I can imagine you doing that. If one of my kids did that, I would beat them with a wooden spoon. I would follow them through the house and I would destroy their souls and make sure that they never slammed another door again. But that's how, like, my grandfather did it with me. That's how my mother did it with me. That's how my grandfather did it to my mother. It's like parental shit there. I could not handle it.
I love the brat trope. I love when women act like brats.
I found her quite, like, relatable, which was, like, I feel like, because she was sort of, like, just a normal girl. And I kind of liked that because I feel like quite often, you know, we read romance books and the guys and the girls that are portrayed in them aren't really like the people, you know what I mean? Like they're such extreme versions of themselves. Whereas she was just like normal. She was just like, I just want to graduate and like not have any bills. It's like, that's super relatable.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't find her that relatable, but maybe, I don't know.
My least favorite part... Probably, I felt the ending somewhat rushed because it's quite a short book. It's like just over 400 pages, like 406 pages or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think about 300 of those pages are slow burn. So it felt like the last 100 pages just went like really quickly, and all of a sudden, like they'd gone from staying away from each other to protect both their reputation and just each other, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Fuck all of that!" Like. Let's get married and have kids.
What reputation?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Where?
Because he's
nowhere, Milwaukee.
Because they're in a small town. And small town people talk. And he was like, I don't want to be the 38-year-old guy that's like fucking the 19-year-old like ex-girlfriend of my son. Like,
Yeah,
obviously you're gonna
pretty
have...
intense.
The issue is that I do not understand the problem with an age gap, likely because my parents had a 30-year age gap. So for me, it's like, whatever. I always grew up with it, and I don't think it's really that big of a deal. So whenever anyone's like, reputation, this and that, I'm like, get the fuck over it. Like, who gives a shit?
It is,
Yeah.
it genuinely is in most towns and like experiences, like age gap isn't widely accepted.
Yeah. But like, yeah, but
To
you
your own,
definitely
as long
understand
as
like why you
everyone's
have
happy.
a different opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because the way that I
Yeah.
was brought up, I'm a little bit different because I genuinely am like, whenever I read an age gap, I love it, but I don't think of it as forbidden.
Yeah.
I just think of it as a trope when people like forbidden romance, age
But
gap.
you can also see like the forbidden aspect being that
The
it
boyfriend
was his
bit?
son's ex.
Yes, that I
Yeah.
understand. Yeah.
And that would cause like talk in a small town, like the dad to hook up with his son's ex.
Sure.
And also like he didn't
Like
want to lose
after
his
they'd been living with him
Yeah.
as well. So it'd be kind of like...
And you had the whole thing where he didn't want to lose his already like fractured relationship with his child.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like that kind of like you could understand why they couldn't be together, but I felt like the resolution was so rushed because they had all of these valid reasons as to why they couldn't be together, and then all of a sudden it was just kind of like, fuck it, like throw all those to the wind, like we'll just be together anyway.
This kind of brings me to Praise, because in Praise it's a very similar situation, like the boyfriend and the... I felt like he dealt with it better in Praise than he did in Birthday Girl. Like,
Do you mean like just sort of like just laying down the law?
yeah, laying down the law. I was like, just fucking tell him off. He's a shit. Like, he needs something, and you just seem like you're letting him do whatever he wants, and there's no consequences for his actions because you're scared he's going to be taken away. If he's an adult, he'll make decisions on his own.
Yeah. I do think that it, like, the way it was portrayed in Birthday Girl, though, would be more realistic if you were a parent. Like, you wouldn't just want to crush their world completely. You know, like, you would do anything you could to spare them from
Maybe.
the hurt of that.
I don't know.
Yeah. Favorite sex scene?
Has to be like the first time they have sex,
Yeah.
because it's just like releases so much like anxiety and
Oh
tension.
no, I know which
Yeah.
one's my favorite. When they're in the shower and what's his face is like, make sure
That
that she picks
was-
her clothes up.
Yeah.
I was like, haha, funny.
That was funny.
There's a
Yeah.
little bit of funny in there.
I liked it when they fucked. No, they didn't even fuck. It was like with the first time they made out after they'd been like mudding in the car.
Oh yeah, that was.
And they were rinsing each other off, and then they start making out, and then the son fucking like, he's like, Dad?
You love a son walking in. Is that Betty? You love the son coming in when the...
Oh, and your dad will
Yes.
do, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good scene. Which like makes eye contact with him. And then
keeps
comes.
fucking him.
You love that shit. You love it. You froth on that shit. You froth.
It's because I love a power move. It's like all of these books. I love when the women are in control, just because like, but like it's not even. It's being in control just by having a vagina that I love. You know what I mean? Like they're not doing anything. Like they're not
any
like
skills.
they're not enforcing any layer of control. It's just like you can't fuck me today, and then their partners are like, "Well, I'm fucking pissed off at the world." Like imagine having that level of control by owning a body part you didn't even choose to own.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It would be good. And it kind of it flips the narrative on its head a little bit, you know?
Yeah, it's a
Which
great
feels
feeling.
quite nice. Yeah.
Withholding sex is like the best way to get what you want.
Biddy! No, it's not.
No, it's not. That's very unhealthy, and you
That
need
is a
some
damaging
therapy.
statement to make.
Don't tell people that. It's not true. Even though she is somewhat a therapist, don't listen to her for therapy right now. 'Cause
She's like, I have a
apparently-
degree in psychology, and this is what I learned.
and this is what she's learned. Withhold sex. Don't do
Manipulate
that.
people.
Oh,
Okay.
Because then you're unhappy as well.
Who says I'm unhappy? I'm getting off on the fact that they're angry at me for withholding sex.
Oh, Betty. A
Jesus.
therapist who needs therapy. Who needs the best therapy in the world?
okay,
Therapist.
fine. Let me correct my statement. If you're in a healthy, stable relationship, do not manipulate your partner. If you're with like a little bit of a fuckhead, go wild, go crazy, go stupid.
Life
Just be as much of a fuckwit
Betty.
as they are.
Life lessons with Betty.
This book kicked off like a whole slew of like daddy books for me, and there were so many, and one of them
Gotta read Daddy
that I want to talk about because it had the funniest title, and it was called "You Take My Daddy, I'll Take Yours," and it was about a girl who, at her dad's wedding to a much younger woman, meets an older man and has like the best one night stand ever. You know, like she's kind of like drunk and pissed about her dad getting married to this chick who's real young. So she fucks this older guy. It's amazing. She never sees me, and they didn't even take it to like get each other's names. She assumes he's just like some random like person, and then they have dinner at her dad's house.
Yeah.
And then it's the new wife's dad. And it is so good. That has like the best like confrontation scene I've ever heard in my whole life.
Should I read it?
You should read it. It's a pretty quick read. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I will. I recently read Daddy's Angel.
By K.A. Knight.
Oh, K.A. Knight knows some shit.
Dude, that's a good one too.
Needs Jesus. Have you read it?
Yeah.
Oh, the fact that she was there for the year and he waited, and then it was the birthday, and then it was call me daddy, and it's like, I'll call you daddy.
And speaking of Call Me Daddy, that's a Jade West book that's quite good.
Yes.
Yeah. That one's proper Daddy Little's girl though.
Ooh,
that one's like she's a little
one I read like that.
Yeah.
That one
it does go into Kent culture. Yeah, that one is quite confronting, but it's Jade West, so it's
so
like
good. You know that she's got a new
so
book
good.
coming out this week?
No.
Oh, does she?
I think it's something. Remember how she was talking to us and she said that she was doing another one similar to Sugar Daddies?
Yeah.
This is the one.
That's cool.
Cherry something.
Ooh.
Yeah. And today, really happy day. Today, I know that it's going to be weeks for this to come out, but I still want to mention it. Today is Emily McIntyre Day. It's her last day of chemo.
Nice.
And they're doing, and all the authors are sending out well wishes on Instagram. So you'll see them over the next few weeks, but it's incredible. They've already had like E.L. James and Megan Quinn, and everyone's posting these incredible posts for Emily McIntyre. Well done for getting through fucking chemo.
Yeah, what an achievement.
Congratulations. I just found out what Jade West's new book's about. So.
Oh, is it not that one?
No, it's called The Man Upstairs, and the little thing is, Julian Lockley, am a sex addict who likes the degradation of barely legal girls.
Oh, I don't think I've read like a male degradation.
No, it's just female degradation.
Yeah, because he likes.
But she's degrading the male. So the male.
No. He likes degrading barely legal girls.
I thought it was he likes barely legal girls to
degrade
fuck
him.
with him.
No.
Okay.
Oh, you meant like
we'll probably
degrading
still be
little
good
girls.
then.
No. He's degrading them. I see how you could get that confused.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably get the ARC because we're on our ARC list and she's sending them out soon.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Oh.
I might flick her an email just to like make sure we do because I really want to read that.
I'll send her a message on the ground, babes.
Hey Jade, I haven't spoken to you in like a year, but can I please have this?
I speak to her all the time. What are you talking about?
Oh, then you ask her.
I'll ask her. That's what I just said. You guys are like, I haven't spoken to this author in like 2 weeks. I FaceTimed them last week. Like, please. I talk to these authors every day.
Whenever I'm like looking through like my I'm like adding shit to my TBR on Goodreads, I'll be like, haha, I know her, but like I don't know her. I spoke to her for an hour, and then Ola's spoken to her for every day since.
Yeah, I'm besties with all the authors. I'm obsessed with them. We gotta listen. I'll make friends with anyone. I'll make friends with a lamp.
You fucking would as well.
I would too, wouldn't I?
You wouldn't stop until you reach your goal.
I absolutely forced you to be friends with me. Pardon?
Yeah. Do you have any news? Do you have any girls who read porn news?
Or is that just sort of
Girls who read porn news? We are still working out the merch situation. It is a bit of a bitch to get it going. Didn't realize how much admin is going into it. And what other girls who read porn news do I have? Nothing. Oh, E.L. James released a new book, The Misses.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that the first one that she's released since?
Correct. Since the 50 Shades.
Christian's point of view, 50 Shades.
That is true. She has released. Oh, Megan Quinn released the second part of the book that we read when she was on the episode, The Royally Not Ready. She released the second part, and I'm actually really excited to read it. I've got it downloaded for my flight. I am prepared. I'm ready.
Are you going to save that one for when you go
I'm saving a lot. I've got 23 hours each way with a shit ton of anxiety meds. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
To go
Nice.
overseas and live my life. And we have 6 weeks of just doing whatever the fuck
That's
we want.
a good idea, just like stocking your Kindle full of shit, because like you might not know like when you like what if you like read a book and then like you like it finishes and then you still have like 10 hours of a flight to go or something.
Well, I
Like, just
pay for Wi-Fi
stock
on
it.
my flights because I'm not
Of
cheap.
course
Do
you
you?
do.
Yeah.
I'm so cheap.
But
I'm like,
also,
I will
like,
not have any extras. I will go hungry.
I will likely do so because it's going to be when I'm flying. So when I fly, I try and sleep the hours of the place that I'm going to. So I'm going to be pretty much awake for the whole US hours. So I'm just going to be nagging authors about shit the whole time.
How do you plan that? I get on a plane and my body goes like, oh, it's time to sleep.
I force myself to stay awake.
Dude, I pass out. You put me on a plane seat just like in somebody's lounge and I'd fall asleep. My body knows.
That's so funny.
It's been trained.
Not this
Yeah.
chick. No,
Like-
that's not how my body works. I hate flying.
Really?
Oh my God. I had the most horrific experience from Vietnam to Sydney. My mum and I still like have trauma over it when I was 15 and the plane was falling. And
Jesus.
like we got off that plane, I remember, and there were people like kissing the ground, like wailing. And these were like poor Vietnamese women who had never been on planes before. So they come to Australia for the first time to like, you know, start new lives and stuff, never been on a plane before. And that's their first experience on a plane, is that we nearly had an emergency landing at West New South Wales. And they're on the ground, like kissing the ground, like begging for it to be over. It was fucked up.
That's fucked up.
So I used
wouldn't
to love
like
flying before that. After that,
I wouldn't even know, honestly. The plane could be falling out of the air and I'd have no fucking clue.
I would hate to fly with you because you wouldn't be able to fucking keep me occupied.
Oh God, no.
It's like flying with Josh, whereas my friend Claudia is coming with us as well. I fly on my own for the first bit, so I have to keep myself occupied, hence all the books. But on the way back, Claudia's fucked. She's got to keep like deck of cards, let's go, for at least 12 hours. Like you got to keep me. We got to press play on the movie at the same time so that we can talk about it.
I'm very much like I don't sleep much on flights, but I keep myself occupied. I don't want to talk to anyone else. This is my time. This is my alone time.
Same. Me and my mum have the same opinions on planes, which is like, you can't do anything, you can't go anywhere, and somebody brings you food. It's like heaven. There's like no responsibility, and somebody feeds you.
Fabulous.
Yeah, listen, that's fine, but I still wouldn't eat airplane food anyway.
Really?
Well, actually, no, that's not true. I organized the kosher meal for myself.
Give myself that tiny little bread with the butter.
Oh,
Yeah.
no bueno.
Yeah,
You
the
got to
delicious
organize the
balls.
kosher
Like-
meal because it gets done at a different place, not the normal place where the food is done, and they do it properly.
I like airplane food mainly because like I love like TV style dinners. Like I love
Same.
buying like those frozen
Do you?
meals that have like the like that's something about like the sections, like the portions.
The
Yeah, I
1950s
love
It's like really satisfying. Yeah,
TV style.
everything sort of tastes the same.
It's great. I love it. I love airplane food.
I hate it.
Apparently, the reason why airplane food is so bad is because your taste buds don't work as well at the pressure.
Oh, with the
Basically,
altitude.
chock full of
Yeah.
with the altitude. Yeah, sorry. So they chock it. That's why it's like really salty too sometimes, like because they have to shove so much stuff in it.
The only thing you should be getting if you're getting airplane food is stew. Because that's the only thing that can
The
be
stew's what's
reheated
good.
and it doesn't taste like ass and you're not going to die from like
Oh, the
food
pasta's
poisoning.
kind of good. Like I always get vegetarian on the plane because I don't trust the meat. But
That's
'cause
the
I've seen too many
worst
memes.
option. If you look it up, they're
Vegetarian-
like the worst option is pasta.
nah, I love vegetarian airplane food.
I
It
once
was
had a really good risotto on a plane. That was good.
You know what's
That was
gross on
pasta.
planes? Egg on planes.
Oh,
yeah, no, fuck
scrambled
that.
egg.
Egg is gross anyway. Like,
But they
why would you
always-
put yourself through that?
Because
It'd
they
be
always
watery.
do, for breakfast. They always give you the option of like some sort of like egg dish,
Omelette.
like an omelet or something. Yeah.
I
just pick
honestly
the
just
cereal,
make
man.
my own schnitzel sandwich, wrap it up, and take it on the plane with me. That has been
I just bring a lot of
historically
snacks,
what I've
usually.
done every single time I've gone on a plane. Is
I
make my own
never bring
sandwich.
food on an airplane ever because I'm so afraid that I'll forget that I have it, and then like they'll be like, "You can't come into the country."
Okay, but if you're going to
'Cause I have,
Europe,
like-
they don't give a fuck. I've got 75 avocados that are going with me. Well, because my cousins
They don't
live
have the
in
same
Poland.
biosecurity.
No,
Yeah.
you can go to Poland with fucking avocados. They don't give a shit. I've brought in some stuff. Because in Poland, they don't have any good avocados. So I'm buying like the greenest of green avocados and schlepping them over with me.
Dude.
For what reason?
Because they love Australian avocados. I asked
No.
them, what do you want? And they said Tim Tams and avocados. I said, sure, I'll bring you all the avocados, but you're going to have to eat a shit ton of guacamole in a week because it's all going to go fucking ripe at the same time. Anyway.
I don't really, I understand that, Tim Tams are a really good biscuit, but I don't really understand, the international obsession with them.
Because they're nowhere else.
Yeah, but
I know,
penguins
they're
are
good,
exactly
but,
the same thing.
I don't know if you want to start a fight right now. I don't know what you're trying to do, but making statements like that are fighting words.
Controversial statement.
That is really fucked up that you even thought it would be okay to say something like that in my presence. I'm taking this real seriously. I'm not even kidding, hey?
The only thing my family's asked for when I go back to the UK is L&P and Whittaker's chocolate.
I don't know what L&P is.
Lemon and Pyora?
Powder?
Pyro?
I don't know what that is.
It's the place that it's made.
Okay, do you know what I really want
lemon.
you guys to send me? And I was thinking about it, if you could. The crocodile lollies, the really fucking chewy ones that break your teeth.
Do you not have them?
No, and I love them.
No,
Yeah,
you
we
can
can
send you
probably
some
do that.
crocodile lollies.
Send me crocodile lollies. I really want them. Do you... Fuck, I forgot. Do you know what horrible thing has happened in Australia today? They're no longer making fantails, and I forgot to bulk buy them.
Making fantails. What are fantails?
Fantails, the
Yeah, I don't know.
Australian confection, the lolly, the best thing that ever
fantail.
happened.
I was like, that's like a native New Zealand bird.
Yeah, they don't make them. They come naturally.
Fantail is like a native bird.
No, the lollies, and I don't know why they
I don't know,
stopped.
I have to
They're all
Google
fucking
it.
turds. They're so
Oh,
good.
that's
And
sad.
it was like a Libra pad where it came with facts.
Facts.
you
Oh,
were
Libra pet.
Or it
Why
would
did you say
say
Libra?
it would have who am I? And so
Liberation.
I would be driving, right? I did this the other week. I was driving and I was eating them, and Brent, my Canadian bestie who I'm going to party with today, would be like, who am I? I starred in, what was it? Bonnie and Clyde. Oh no, Thelma and Louise and blah, blah, blah. And that's where I made my break for it. And I'm like, Brad Pitt, because I know it all, because I've read this over the last 30 years I've been eating fantails.
They're still selling them at supermarkets in New Zealand.
Fantails.
What are they?
Show me a photo, because I
Should we
promise
look
you it's
for
not the
some?
same thing. They have them in New Zealand?
Oh, they're spelled tails like with
Tail,
with tails like a story, not like a.
Oh,
like
wait,
a
no.
tail.
Tail with the, story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently they're a countdown. So, which
Oh,
is
shit.
the equivalent of your Woolies.
Great. So
Is it
get some
Woolworths?
of those for me and the crocodiles and send them over.
Okay.
I don't want anything.
I'm not
Australia,
sending
but
you
thanks.
anything.
I don't actually have any requests.
I'm not
I don't
sending
know
you anything.
what's made in Australia that we can't get. I feel like we can get everything.
Yeah. I don't know.
Only the things that we miss out on are the stuff that you couldn't send over, really cheap fresh fruit.
Yeah.
Like really good produce.
Yeah, decent produce.
Vegetables, fruit and vegetables in New Zealand are insanely expensive.
It is
We
almost
pay
nothing is grown
expensive
in the
to eat
country.
in New Zealand. Americans, listen. When I look at your shit with Costco and everywhere else, you are seriously cleaning up. Eat organic. Just do it, because it's still cheaper than buying the shit vegetables.
We
that
paid
we have to eat.
$14 for 5 capsicum.
Woman,
And that
I
was a
spent
value
$12 on an iceberg lettuce.
Yeah, shit like that.
Do you remember that?
It's
Remember?
insane.
And I
yeah.
was going off on the podcast, I'm pretty sure, about the iceberg lettuce. It was $12 for a fucking
I
lettuce.
think I probably cut it out because it went a bit too long.
Yeah, likely,
It got
because
to the
it was,
point here where,
I was pissed. I was pissed because how dare you have... It's not fine, we're just a separate continent. It's not like we're fucking actually in the middle of nowhere. We have the option to grow shit. Why are you sending all of the
you've
New
got a lot
Zealand
of
Australian
land.
produce overseas so that we have to spend $12 on a fucking lettuce?
You know, New Zealand lamb is cheaper in the UK than it is in New
Which is
Zealand.
absurd, because it's the best lamb in the fucking
It is
world
absurd.
is from New Zealand, and we can't even get it in Australia. Don't get me started on produce. I feel very deeply about this because it should be easy for everyone to have access to local organic produce without having to fucking
Yeah.
destroy their wallets. And KFC should not be cheaper than organic produce.
Dude, that's
Oh,
what it's like at the
don't get
moment
me
because like
started, hey.
it's cheaper. It's cheaper to import all of like the big sort of like more snacky brands, like things like, you know, like Bluebird and like Heinz and all of those companies. So it's cheaper to buy things like chips and like other snacky shit like that rather than buy like
An actual fucking
fresh.
apple and give your
Yeah,
kids
something
some
fresh.
nutrition.
Yeah. So you'd be like, oh, like, what am I going to have? Because normally, like, what I would always do for my snacks and my lunches, I'd buy, like, heaps of stuff to make different sandwiches throughout the week. So that if I'm hungry, I just eat a sandwich. It's, like, well-balanced. I'm not, like, just eating shit. It's not going to fill me up too much. I, like, can't buy my sandwich shit anymore. Because, like, just the
it's like
bread
$7
still,
for
like,
a cucumber.
Yeah, like, I'm not, and it's only
inflation is
shit.
absolutely insane. So my groceries for Josh and I used to be $400 a month. They are now almost $400 a week.
Yeah, that's mad. That's insane.
Inflation.
G's really good at hunting deals.
So
I mean,
I
shop
only buy
based
reduced
on the
meat.
deals.
So if the
Yeah.
meat is like about to expire that day, I don't give a fuck
And then
what
you
it
just put it in
is.
the freezer.
My freezer is so packed that it like overfrosted itself, and Josh cracked the shit.
Yeah.
Our freezer's like that.
Yeah.
I do that, yeah. Every week I look at different supermarkets and I look at what's on special, and then I know like the different supermarkets in the area that most likely will have meat reduced to clear because they're the ones where like people don't normally go to, but they still have like quite a lot of stock. Shit like that.
Amazing. I feel like we've gone so off track.
I was gonna say
Well,
this is
look, I'm
nothing book
passionate
related.
about it.
I'm really
Okay,
sorry,
we're just-
guys.
this is
And
something
but
that
you know
we
what?
wanna
I'm
talk
not.
about-
Just be glad that you're in a country where you can actually get shit for cheap and you can actually eat without having to break bank. Because
If
I'm
you wanna
about
talk about
to sell
cheap-
some designer bags to fucking feed this house.
If we want to talk about cheap, anybody that complains about the price of books outside of New Zealand
Don't
and
fucking
Australia
talk to me about it.
don't deserve to complain
Yeah.
about the price of books.
Let me tell you something that happened. Okay, with books in Australia. Somebody asked me, can you go get some books signed for me by H.D. Carlton and send it to me to the US? And I'm like, okay, no worries. But consider how much it's going to cost me to send it to you. $30. And they're like, oh, Australian dollars, you know, whatever. Then they looked at the cost of the books on our Amazon and they're like, is my Amazon not working properly? I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, it's $25 a book. And I'm like, yeah. Australia.
That's really reasonable.
I was
And
like,
that's like a
that's
fine.
cheap.
I would pay that.
I'm like, that's
Yeah.
cheap. What do you mean
a good price
$25
for
a
a book.
book? I thought that she's like 20. It's $7 US of A.
Yeah.
That's
$7,
fucked, man.
$7
That's insane.
US of A. I'm gonna go to the US
And then, like, even
buy
with the
shit and come
conversion,
back.
it's like you'd still be buying books for under $15, like Australian or New Zealand.
If you
that's
got
insane.
a book for under $15 in Australia, you're buying it from one of those fucking bins, which is
Mm-hmm.
like corner of the
third.
book has been fucked up and eaten by my
or it's been passed
neighbour's
through
dog.
3 people.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and somebody has drawn dicks all the way inside of it. So
You
don't-
know, the last owner that had this book died.
Or it's got
that's
like a
what-
library
smell.
slip in it because it was in the library for 20 years.
It's an old
No one's
library.
taking it out
I have
anymore.
heaps of these.
Same.
Because I buy pretty much all my books secondhand, like because the ones that we read for the podcast and the ones that I read on like a day-to-day basis, I just use my Kindle for them because with Kindle Unlimited, it's like the easiest fucking thing ever. But the books that I actually want to own, like that, I never look for physical copies of books that I want because I'm always going to be disappointed by how much they cost. I only buy physical books secondhand.
Can I tell you how much the Fourth Wing is going for now?
Isn't it like $60 odd?
$1,000.
What, the one with the like
Sprayed edges.
Special
spray?
edition, $1,000.
Dude, that's fucked.
Is it 'cause the first edition?
$1,000.
Yeah, but the first editions aren't worth anything until
No, it's not the
they're
first
like
edition.
a lot older.
It's not a first edition.
It's not a first
It's
edition.
just a special
Oh.
edition.
Jesus Christ.
$1,000. Put that in your fucking pipe and smoke it.
That's weird too, because generally with books as well, like once you buy it, the value decreases.
No, people are
like,
buying it and
a lot
reselling it.
immediately.
And people
Yeah,
are buying
that's like
it.
really odd for books.
Yeah.
People are paying $1,200 plus for the resold books.
Well, if you have the money.
Why?
I don't know. It's your
Why?
money.
No,
You
I
would've
know,
been-
but I just like, I was talking to so many people about this. Why the hard copy? Somebody needs to write in and explain to me why the hard copies of like 12 of the same book, though. Explain that to me.
Yeah.
Oh, we were talking about
And
this, but with
people buy-
ACOTAR.
yeah.
People buy...
Like people buy the
People
whole
buy
series,
different
all the different
languages.
editions.
Like they buy like the UK covers, the German covers.
Call
like,
me about that.
Like Spanish.
I will give you my
Yeah.
Australian phone number and you can FaceTime me. I don't give a fuck who you are. Send us a message on the Instagram and we're going to have a conversation about this because I don't understand.
I guess because people buy them and they kind of use them as like an art piece almost, isn't it? It's like a piece of art. It's like a decoration to have in your home. But I've never like looked at like books like that. Like I have one nice book. Betty bought it for me, and that will be the only piece of art book that I will ever own. Like, that's
and I
it.
bought it because it was based on a dumb quote.
Yeah, and she knew it was like one of my favorite books. It was, I don't know.
I bought
Just,
I bought a Wuthering Heights.
Yeah.
Because it's like because it's
it's
also
a
like
quote
an
that's an
inside
after.
joke.
Yeah.
Because a massive
Because
part of after.
what is it? Whatever souls are made of, his and mine are the same. And then,
yeah.
But then I think they changed it in after to say hers and mine are the same.
So we're gonna
And
get
I
that
just love
tattooed.
it. We're gonna get it tattooed.
Whatever our souls are made of, hers and mine are the same.
I think I'm
I was
getting
like,
my
man, that's
first
such a good
tattoo,
friendship tattoo.
actually. I'm
What?
when I get to
Yeah.
Poland, because it's so cheap, it's like $30. I'm gonna go get my first tattoo.
What are you getting?
My mum's name starts with A and my little sister's name starts with Z, so I'm just gonna get A to Z and then a love heart.
Oh, that's
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah. And I feel like it includes everyone in my life then. But it's like their
A to Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
like, but this is the beginning and the end of my love.
yeah, and because it couldn't be more perfect.
That is a really good idea. That's a clever idea. I like
Yeah,
that.
I like that. If anyone steals it, I'll fucking come to your house and kill you. So
They won't know.
Oh, they won't know because I am actually going to be in Poland when this is released.
Yeah.
With my grandmother eating dumplings and getting fucking fat. I have walked something like 300,000 steps in the last few weeks to get skinny girls. I have been seriously hauling ass so that I can eat food when I get there. When I go to Italy, I'm going to inhale all of that pizza and the pasta and the fucking spagniola and the cappuccino. I don't even drink coffee. Cappuccino, come at me. I am ready for it all from A to Z. There you go.
Can you go to the wine fountain? Just on my behalf.
Which one's the wine fountain?
I can't remember. It's like a fountain and they just hand out free red wine. It's like a drinking fountain, but with red wine.
Oh, no, babes. That's in... I've been to that. That's in Lithuania.
There's one in Italy.
I feel like
They do the
one
beer
attraction.
one in Lithuania where there's like every weekend free beer
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the
There's
street.
there's a red wine one in Italy.
I don't drink red wine.
Yeah, but you just got to go for the free red wine.
Yeah, listen.
Who's saying no to red wine?
Sure, if
Especially
you tell me
Italian
where it
red
is-
wine.
If you tell me where it is, girl, I'm there. No problems.
I'll
But
Google it.
I got to tell you, short story before we finish up about going to Capri. Josh is upset, and rightfully so, had a fucking meltdown about how much money I've spent for Europe. Okay? What
do you mean?
He almost had an aneurysm when he saw the credit card bill. So
What did you do?
I was like, we still need to get a boat to Capri. And he almost shot me. I was convinced I was going to die that day. Anyway, with lots of persuasion and lots of love and lots of happiness, I convinced him that the only way that we can get around Amalfi Coast is to get on a boat, which is so untrue and so unnecessary. And he's like, fine, get the fucking boat. So we got the boat, and then the next day he went to work, spoke to somebody about it. I left the house for about 12 hours. I was terrified.
Dude.
I know, but I had to... Okay, listen, he's angry because the flights are expensive in Europe right now. If you're traveling to Europe, just know that it is it's the most expensive it's ever been to travel into country. It is ridiculously expensive since COVID.
Yeah, because Europe has always been really renowned for like it's expensive to get there, but then once
Well,
you're there,
it's
you
cheap
can go
as
anywhere.
shit. Like, I reckon majority of, like, historically, I've gone there. I went there for a year in 2019. 2019. In 2012, I reckon I spent like $5,000 in that whole time. But
Yeah.
to get there, it cost me like $3,000, right?
It's because fuel's on its way up. Fill up your cars, kids.
Flights should only be like $50 to $100 into country. I spent $500 per person the other day.
Man,
Jesus,
that's a
Ola.
lot.
So much. I thought I was going to pass out when I saw that. I was like, Josh is going to mad at me today. I am dead. But yeah,
But you can't help it. It's not your fault.
No, and then because
You didn't put the flight
the
prices
thing
up.
is, we both are very much overreactors and over-exaggerators. Like, that's just how we over-exaggerate everything.
Dramatic.
We're very dramatic people. So he was like, how did you spend $10,000 already? And then the next morning I went on a walk and I was like, $10,000? How did I spend $10,000? Jesus Christ, $10,000. We've been robbed, because I was like calculating everything in my head. And then I came home and I'm like, Josh, have we been robbed? Like, did we spend $10,000? And he was like, it was more like $5,800. And I'm like, that you can't say $10,000. So yeah, there was like a lot of drama surrounding that, but it is what it is. And it was very stressful and it's very expensive. If you're planning to go to Europe, make sure that you sell a kidney.
Perfect. And on that note,
bye.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to our episode, everybody. And we will see you next week, where we are talking about Fractured Freedom by Shane Rose.
Oh, fuck, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Girls Who Read Porn. Follow us at Girls Who Read Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And for all business inquiries, please send us an email on girlswhoreadporn@gmail.com. Art created by Jessica Wanney, and music made by Dane Forgy Stevens. See you next week, and stay smutty, team.